Hello, friends. Welcome to another fantastic episode of the AI Show. My name is Seth Juarez, and I'm super excited to be with every one of you and my mom. By the way, if you were on Learn TV, you're just coming from Learn TV, like you're literally staying. Last hour, Guido Van Rossum, the benevolent dictator for life, was on. It was fantastic. I was sitting there nerding out, and I was like, I want to talk to Guido. Yeah. So I was a little bummed I didn't get to talk, but I did listen to him. And by the way, if you are watching on Learn TV, this was all written in Python. It's true. And so if you're watching on Learn TV, it was all Python all the time. We've got a fun show for everybody today. Let me share my screen. Share my screen here. Screen number 2. Share. Boop. Oh, there's Sanjeev, by the way. He's going to be with us today later. So we'll leave him in there for a little bit. And I forgot to grab my handy dandy writer's Wacom tablet. Wacom. I say it every time I get the Wacom tablet. I'm like, oh, Wacom. All right. Thank you. That was the opener. Let's see what other ambient music is going on in the background. I was supposed to play the Surprise Me station, on pretzel. Oh my gosh. I'm going to turn that down. That was really interesting. By the way, I'm here for y'all's comments. I'm super excited. Looks like we've got Ivana is here. Hello, Ivana. Bienvenida. We have to do this show all in Spanish one day. Bienvenidos todos al show de IA, donde todos juntos vamos a aprender todo lo impresionante, lo bonito y lo que más nos toca acerca de IA. Look at that. Even in Spanish. Hold on, wait. Hold on. I gotta say everything in Spanish, but with like my bienvenidos. Hoy vamos a aprender mucho. Hello, Ivana. Also, Jay McCormick is here. Hello, my friend. Ryad Mess. Wait, is your last name really Mess? Because I feel like that should be my last name. Got like Game of Thrones music going on. I'm gonna go to the next one. This is crazy. Oh, I like this. Let's turn this up. Demanuj Barali. Hello, my friend. Welcome. From Costa Rica as well. Someone's here. I'm super excited. Sounds like I'm in a video game now. All right, so let's get to it. Number one today. Let me get to the pen here. Number one today. I'm going to write this down. What's new with OCR? I don't know. Sanjeev is going to tell us all about it. You got a sneak peek. He's sitting there in the back wondering, what have I gotten myself into? Number two, Roshambo, which is actually the name of rock, paper, scissors. We're building the AI model. We're going to finish cleaning up the code. And I think we've put it off long enough. Riyad Mesaudi. That's so cool. That's a cool name. So there's certain languages that I've always wanted to learn. A couple of those languages include Eastern languages. I had a guy, his name was Tuku from Senegal. When I lived in southern Spain, he taught me how to read in Arabic. And I would go to his house every other day. And Jay's like, do the closed captions translate Spanish to English? I don't know. And so Tuku, I would go to his house and he would be like, here, we're going to teach you how to read in Arabic. And obviously they use the Quran. And so I learned how to read from the Quran in Arabic. And they would sit there and laugh at me because my pronunciation was so bad. So yes, I love languages. So we're going to do Rochambeau. And I think we're going to finish this up, finish up the main, main code. And I feel like it's time. I'm going to play the sad strings here because it's time. We're going to have to do some JavaScript. That's what it's come to. So my Spanish is actually legit Spanish, but it's super weird because I lived for 3 years in Mexico as a child, and then I lived for 2 years in Spain as a bigger child. So if anyone hears me speak Spanish, they're like, where are you from? I don't know. By the way, I'm also on Learn TV monitoring the chat. Also, I'm looking at the chat over here. And so if you have any comments, I'm excited. Luferogo, greetings from AZI. Oh, man. I almost read something in Spanish that would have been offensive in some countries. Yes. Your Spanish is amazing. That's so funny. By the way, yeah. So number two, finish the main code. And if you'd like, I'll do an overview of all the code because we've been putting it together for the last couple of weeks, but obviously it goes really slow. But now that it's almost done on the Python side to build the models, I can go through that. And then we're going to have to, 2A here, we'll put that in red. maybe we might have to learn some React. Maybe it's good though. Maybe React is so fantastic. I started looking at it last night. Maybe it's so fantastic that we're just going to be like blown away. Okay. So those are the two things we're doing. And I'd also like to mention, friends, that next week, obviously, Aishigul is going to come back and do a lot of her cognitive services coding, have special guests, etc. You know, maybe people will call me during the show like last one. And then after that, that's the week of Microsoft Build. If you don't know, Microsoft Build is an amazing conference for developers, practitioners, technical folks, where we get to talk about everything that's new. And no one told me to read this. It's all true. But our Friday show, because this show is going to be Tuesday all the way to like Thursday early morning, our Friday show is going to be a recap of all of the cool things that they announced at Build that might have gotten lost because there's so many things. And so I've invited, I think last I saw there 5 different people are going to come and show us all the cool stuff that Azure AI is putting out. So that's that's going to be, a recap show. And hopefully today we'll get some stuff done. Excited everyone's here. And like I said, please in the chat, if you want to say something funny, that's awesome. Otherwise, you're going to have to put up with my dad jokes. I've gotten, by the way, my friend, I was at the Pie Ladies New York meetup because we're showing off some new stuff that we're going to get to y'all soon. And they were testing it out. They have added 2 new sound effects to my repertoire. The first one, obviously, is a classic. So like I said before, if you have good jokes, we'll use those. If I'm doing bad jokes, this is the sound effect you have to listen to. Are you ready? This is the one I'm going to start using now. A classic. And also, I have another one. Think Star Wars or any other show where someone falls off a cliff. The Wilhelm scream. One more time. We might use that one. So those are the 2 that I have added to the repertoire of the show. So I'm pretty excited. I'm running out of buttons on my Stream Deck. And so I guess I'll just have to like make sounds with my hands. Magic. All right. Ivana, you think that's scary? The scream, the Wilhelm scream? Anytime a stormtrooper dies, this is what the sound. Oh my goodness, it's Friday. Thank goodness. All right, let's bring Sanjeev on because he's like sitting there thinking, what is this guy doing? Sanjeev, my man, how's it going, buddy?
It's going great, Seth. Yeah, actually, if I was sitting with you and nothing was happening, that would be weird, so this is appropriate.
Yeah. I unmuted you. You were on mute, and so so Sanjeev, this is the first time you've been on the live version of the show. You've been on the AI show before. The live version is a little bit more fun because people get to ask us questions. So are you okay sticking around answering questions?
Absolutely. Okay. Yeah.
Okay. All right, let's check your screen. Let me remove my screen and let's add yours. There you go. So that's working. That's wonderful. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to move all this other stuff over. I'm going to move this over here and just remind you, Sanjeev, if you can, look straight at the camera. This is like a taping, live studio audience.
Yeah.
Just look at, and then we'll have a chat. I'll say I'll start out and be like, you're not going to want to miss this episode of the AI show where Sanjeev reveals the mysteries of what's new with OCR. That thing. Then I'll play that thing. And then we'll get into it. And then you ready?
Yes, And yeah, my screen is shared, so you'll switch on the
Yeah,
screen. I can't see you, by the way, right? Because I'm in a
yeah.
presentation mode. I'll be
It's
sharing screen, so
probably
I can
better
see.
that way, Sanjeev,
Yeah.
that you do
Okay.
not see me.
But I can hear you though, which is even funnier. Anyway.
No, I mean he's like Sanjeev just basically made it everyone in the chat. Sanjeev's like, it's better if I don't see you. Hearing you
Yeah.
is okay. I'm just
Yeah.
kidding. Sanjeev,
Actually,
yeah, go ahead, buddy.
in fact, Seth, yeah, I can make a dad joke too. You said I'm the first time I'm in a live AI show.
Uh-huh.
I was going to ask you, do you also do dad shows too? But
Yes,
no problem.
I should do a separate like. I've been thinking about. Oh, hold on. I wish I had that, but that's the one I don't have. I have a kazoo though. It's like I should do like a variety show where I just have like random people call me. Like, I don't know if I don't know if you watched the last show, Sanjeev. This was 2 weeks ago, but Caitlin called in the middle of the show because I was like, "Hey, call me," because I had to record some things for her. It was so funny. I need to do more. I need to invite more random people. Of course, you included, but you're not a random person. You're Sanjeev. You ready to do this, buddy?
Okay. All right. Yes.
All right, now we got to do serious. We got to pay the bills now. Let's do this. Let's do this.
Mhm.
I'm going to turn the sound effect volumes off so that I can remember. And by the way, Sanjeev has graciously agreed to stay on after to answer any of your amazing questions, which we want to answer. So let me get the banners up here and get my cards here so that I remember. Banner number 2 is right here. And are you ready? Hold on. I wish these buttons were closer together. Okay, we're gonna get this. This is gonna be the best show ever. As soon as I'm ready. Okay. Here we go. Okay. Banner number 2. And then does the bumper work off the banner? Hold on. Bumper work off the banner? It does, but I gotta turn the okay. Here we go. You're not going to want to miss this episode of the AI Show where Sanjeev tells us all about what's new in computer vision for OCR. Make sure you tune in. Hello and welcome to this episode of the AI Show where Sanjeev is telling us all about what's new in computer vision for OCR. So why don't we start with introduction, Sanjeev? Tell us who you are and what you do.
Sure, Seth. Hey, it's great to be with you, Seth, first of all. And secondly, I'm a project manager for OCR in computer vision. And we also do OCR in form of layout and form recognizer, which I know you did a show sometime back with Neta. So yeah, that's what I manage here in this team.
Fantastic. So let's start with the obvious question. For those that don't know what OCR is, can you tell us about it, a little bit about what it is?
Sure. Yeah. So OCR, as a technology, has been around for decades now. In fact, if you open up any book on machine learning, vision tutorials, I think the number one thing you'll find there is how to do OCR, right? And so OCR has been around for long. At Microsoft, though, we have had this in computer vision. We have had this OCR operation or OCR API, which is kind of based off simple machine learning. It works. It works for images. It's been there. It's the only option, and so customers have been using it. But in the last 4 or 5 years, Microsoft has invested in a big way with research and engineering and best of computer vision stuff. And so now today we have Read, which is, by the way, Read is on version 3.2 GA. It's generally available this month, but that's what we have today. So we've gone from the traditional regular OCR now to deep learning based Read OCR. Yeah, and you can tell just the sheer scale of this technology is, instead of 23 languages, we now support 73 languages and more to come, by the way, over the next 12 to 24 months. You can have mixed languages, which means your documents or images can have mixed languages. No need to tell us which language ID. We'll just extract everything that you need. Yes, a lot of big, good stuff that we'll go through some demos later on. But hopefully, this gives you kind of a sneak preview of the scale here.
That's awesome. So for those because since OCR has been around for such a long time, and you started to really talk a little bit about the newer stuff, can you tell us and center us what's new with OCR when it comes to the services that you provide?
Yeah, so generally, deep learning, because it's a deep learning neural network-based model driving the service here, we can handle multiple languages in the same document. In fact, in the same text line, we can handle print and handwritten. We also output confidence scores, so that means it allows customers to set their own thresholds based on what they see with their content. And we ingest large images and large documents. In fact, the service supports up to 2,000 pages long documents, right? And so that's the kind of extent, and especially for text-intensive images and documents, right? So that's what this OCR powered. And of course, we have the universal language models that you see, because of which we're able to quickly go from 7 to 73 languages just in the last version that we released a couple of weeks back with Read 3.2.
This is cool stuff. And like even the fact that you're able to, in the same, you said in the same sentence or the same document, know and distinguish between different languages, which is really cool.
Yeah, and absolutely. And by the way, this, right now we are simultaneously shipping both the Cloud API as well as the Docker container. So when you get read new versions, whether previews or GAs, you can download. You can either use the Cloud API, which is easiest, scalable, fast, and secure. But you can also download the Docker containers, as some of our banking and other healthcare customers do, and you can run it off your laptop, as it is running on my laptop right now.
Awesome. So let's do this. Let's can you show us how it works, and then maybe get into like the mechanics of how people could use it?
Yeah, sure. So I think you would think, well, that's a hugely complex technology, it looks like, and we handle big documents and so on. So is the API really complex? How can I use it? And the reality is that it's a really simple, effectively one operation API. That's part of the beauty of this. All of cognitive services is that we take complex stuff and simplify it. So in this case, all you have to do is ingest your documents, come in through HTTPS URL, use your computer vision resource key and call the read operation of computer vision. And then once you've given that, it's an async operation. So that means you get an operation ID back. And so all you have to do is just pull the get results operation and keep doing it. It should return within a few milliseconds or a few seconds at the most. And when it's done, you get your output, all text extracted, coordinates, location, text lines, and so on, in form of a JSON, right? And by the way, we delete data and results. So our customers can be really secure that we don't store any data, we don't use it for training, and so that's the reason they trust us with their sensitive documents and secure.
And I want to make sure I repeat this. I want to make sure if I understand this correctly. You're saying that if I submit a document to the service, you don't keep it and you don't use it for training.
That is correct. That's exactly right.
That's really cool. All right, so I'd love to see this in code. Do you have something you could show us in code?
Yeah, sure. So I have a Python notebook, right, which is appropriate since you were with the Python guru before. So yeah, I think I've got a code sample here. And what I'll do is I'll simply cycle these through images that's sitting here to kind of highlight some of the features. So let's get going. All I'm using here, by the way, so just for context, I'm using the Python, Computer Vision Python SDK, right? So that's what I'm importing here.
Yep.
So I get the boilerplate out of the way. That's my endpoint. That's the key. And so that's my image right now. Right, and so and so let me go ahead and just run this. So this image is already loaded. Let's just call the read operation, right? And so notice that operation ID that I got back. So I use that in the get read result, right? And then go ahead and we run that, which is right here. Wait, what happened? Okay.
Yeah, I think you forgot to run there. Then we can run the one after that. There you go.
Wait. Let me run this first. And then we call this one. Now we get a fresh new operation ID, right? So now we are actually calling the right result. Then we run this. We do get result. We got the status succeeded. And now we really just print out the collection of text lines in the JSON response. And so there you go. So that's the motivational code, and that's what you get from the image as text here.
Hold on, go back up there. That is some sweet motivation there.
Yes.
Life is like. Hold on, I'm going to use my sounds here. My motivational. Life is like riding a bicycle. To keep your balance, you must keep moving. That was awesome. That was awesome. Cool.
So let's keep moving, and to now let's say, remember I said print and handwritten, right? And so Read supports handwritten for English only right now, although new languages are coming too. And so again, this is pretty funny and probably motivational code, depending on. And so now we do the same step, right? Get the new operation ID right here, and then get the results, right? And then status succeeded. Notice how quickly it got completed, and then we print it out. And there you go. Now, here's the nice thing. Notice this handwriting, right? So what's happening here in the code is, all I'm doing is I'm checking for the parent style attribute in my JSON response, right? Which actually you can see right here. See that? So this is the same image, same JSON response I'm showing in the VS Code here. And notice the style says handwritten. So all I did was check for this and then append the handwriting label to it. And that's the kind of the print versus handwritten here.
That's cool.
Now, yeah, so now here's the kicker though. Let's say if you had an image with both print and handwritten, right? And so let's cycle to the next one. Not 3.2, image 3. So now all I did was kind of a bit of a hack here. I just appended the two images together, all right, just to kind of challenge ourselves and see what comes out. We follow the same steps again. That's a new operation ID, and we print this out, right? Here, there you go. And now notice the content is all mixed up, of course, because it's all in the same image. But notice how the handwriting ones, right, is content is flagged with handwriting and the other one is not. And so that's an example of how I didn't, and remember, I'm calling the read, but I'm not really specifying whether I'm scanning print or handwritten or a language or anything like that, right? So it's all extracted automatically.
And let's go back to that read response call real quick. So I want to hit that up a little bit. No. The code where you actually put the image in there.
Oh, sure.
There it is. There it is. It's literally read in stream, and that's it.
That's it. Yeah. And then you get the operation ID, all right? Get the operation ID from the header or response header, and then use it in the get result.
All right, let's look at the other images. I'm excited to see what else you got.
Yeah, so now let's think about, this was all English, right? But then you would ask, hey, but what about your language support? You said you support 73 languages, and can you show something? And remember, I said mixed languages too. So in this case, this is a Japanese tax form. So if you were in Japan filling out a tax form, this is what you would fill out, right? And notice it has got Japanese and English text mixed in, right? And so now let's scan this quickly with our OCR service. I get the operation ID. Let's get our, there you go. So notice it took just a little bit, a few milliseconds longer. So now you can see that progression there from running to succeeded, but let's print it out. And so now notice we got all the text, including English, Japanese, everything included. And again, remember, I've not specified any language code. I didn't say this was a Japanese document, right? And so so the code remains unchanged, but you keep getting all the text here. So let's keep quickly moving through this and challenge this a little bit more, right? And the next image is, I think you'll realize, is I've got Japanese, English, and actually German right here. So all I did was took screenshots of these PDFs. And remember, and so again, the use case is realistic because normally customers will scan documents with handwritten content or scan content of these documents. So the PDFs come in, but they will have images and scan content comes in. So to us, of course, we handle both digital and images. It doesn't matter to the service, right? And so let's go ahead and get our operation ID. Let's now scan this, right? And now notice that it's taking a little bit longer there because it's a big image with a lot of small text in a few different languages here, and also depending on what's happening with my laptop. And there you go. Now you got succeeded there. And so let's print this all out. And so there you go. Now you see, so notice that you got, there's Japanese, English, some German, all of it right here.
That is really cool.
Right. Yeah, and so I think that was it. Which image was it? Image 6. I think I have an image 6, which is probably, let's see, I think I have an image 6, which is kind of, this one. So imagine it's a Happy New Year still, it's May, but hey, a lot of countries or communities have New Year starting all through our calendar year. So it doesn't matter. But, and then notice these are all Happy New Year messages in some of the languages. And if you ask me to name them, I will not be able to name all of them correctly, but let's keep going. And so now let's scan it, right? Oh, that was quick. And so let's print them out. And there you go. You got a Happy New Year in a few different languages, and you might actually recognize them. That's it. So, and again, no change to the code. It's all automatically extracted with the universal language models here. That's pretty much it.
That's really cool. Do you have, because I'd love to see if you can, do you have like a listing of all of the languages so that we can see them? Because I want everyone to be super crispy on what languages are actually available.
Yeah, absolutely. So these are the 73 languages we support today. But this is, we look at this as just the first wave of language expansion. There's a similar wave coming in the next 12 months and a similar wave coming the 12 months after that. So we are really just on the mission here to cover all world languages here. But that's the current list for now.
So are there other like new things in there that people should be looking for? I feel like there's some stuff that you're probably missing.
Absolutely. I'm not sure how you knew that, Seth. You must be a magician and reading our minds, but, but here you go. So remember, well, we talked about this one though, right? Isn't it? We saw the handwriting classification demo for text line. So that we covered that. There is another feature called selected pages. Remember, I said the read service takes up to 2,000 pages long. And obviously, if you're going to send hundreds or thousands of pages to a service, you may really not need OCR, right? For all of that, especially some of those help documentation and so on that you find at the end of the forms. And so there you can actually specify pages or page ranges. Just like, when you follow print command, you can specify the pages. That's exactly the feature here. And so for this 200-page document, let's say, I wanted only 2 pages out of this, right? And so you can specify that. So that's one feature. The other interesting one is the reading order. In this new version that we just released. So read actually used to output these text lines. Notice that text line output we saw in the JSON and VS Code, right? They're all arranged one after the other. So we used to go left to right on those text line order, right? Without regards to the actual physical arrangement of the document or the human reading order. Well, now we have this new REST API parameter where if you give us the value natural, notice now that the line numbers go top to bottom for this first column, and then top to bottom on this right column versus going all the way across left and right.
Oh my goodness. I'm sorry, but that is so cool because OCR traditionally, it always mangled things for me. And I had to put the line. You're saying that it will literally give you the lines in natural reading order.
Correct. And so here's a quick example here. This is a document, right? So this is very typical document that you would see here, 2-column documents. If I enable words, if I show the text, this is all OCR extracted text, right? But let's hide that to keep it very clear. But notice the line numbers here. This is the basic one, right? So that's the default that we had until now. And notice the line numbers, they are going 1. So here, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, right? And without regards to the actual document layout here. But notice this natural reading order now, output here. And if I enable text line numbers here, now notice the difference here, right? 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, they're going top down. And then this is 60, 61, 62. So what's happening now is that the service is taking into account the layout of the document and replicating the human reading order, which is great because now this can be the beginning of, let's say, detecting paragraphs, right? And other advanced features in document object model and so on that can come in now.
That's really cool. And like I said, I OCR always annoyed me because it didn't really do that. So here's a question that may be a little bit harder. This feels like it's a really cool building block for more complex software. Is anyone using this as a building block for something even better?
Yeah, absolutely. So remember, text extraction is really the first step. All right, you've got to do a lot more things to get even more insights from it. What it does gives you a text, but yeah, sure. Actually, in fact, we use it, right? This is our other product, Form Recognizer, which is a document AI, document understanding product that layers on top of the OCR extraction here. So just to give a very quick demo here, and I think customers may have used Form Recognizer. If you don't know, please do check it out. This is like an AI magic box in a small little service here. So if you take a look at this example here, right? And so if you move, remember, so we took this document here, and what I'm showing is the layout API. Layout in Form Recognizer is really nothing but OCR, enhanced OCR at high resolution plus some other features, right? When document structure specifically. So notice there is the OCR part of it, of course, that you get with Form Recognizer, right? And that's part of the read result object here. If you open the JSON, and we'll go to the JSON too, but that's the text extraction. But notice we also get checkboxes. So see these selection marks or checkboxes here, and along with the green and the orange, visualization depending on their state. And so we output the selection marks too, right, as part of the read result object here, if you're using layout feature of Form Recognizer. But other than layout, there's the tables too, right? And so notice the service is recognizing from this plain image, it's recognizing this text, there are checkboxes. And by the way, it's actually telling you the state of the checkboxes too, selected or unselected.
That's cool.
And then secondly, tables, right? So it's recognizing that this text is actually arranged as a table. Right, and so if you look at the JSON response in addition to the read result, you'll have a page result object, which is really the page object model kind of coming together here. And one of the first features here is the tables object, including, and you'll notice rows, columns, and the rows, columns, and the individual cells here. But hey, these tables also have something called headers, and this is pretty much a really hot new feature that's actually going out with layout at build, right? So what I'm showing here is a preview of the build feature that will be available starting in the next week or so. And so the difference is now we add a little bit of a is header attribute there, but what you can do is now you can use it to understand and recognize that these headers, that is a table header, table with a header. So again, this is deep learning based in the sense that not all rows, not just the first row will be highlighted as a header, only if it's actually is or meant to be a header that the service will try to predict that. So it's kind of meaningful prediction, I guess. Yeah.
That's really cool. And so it's a building block that we are actually using to do even more cool things.
Right.
Because like reading text is great, but reading a layout of a page, which is what Form Recognizer is doing, I think, and understanding layouts and tables and etc. That's actually really cool too.
Yep. Yeah. And just to close on that, notice this is the layout output here. So that's the read result, right? So that's the OCR. Those are all the text lines. Those are all the selection marks we saw, right? Along with the state selected here. And then this is the tables, the page result object that we were looking at. Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's cool. So here's a question that may be another harder question. And maybe you answered this a little bit and I just wasn't paying attention. What if I work for a place that has sensitive documents and there's some trepidation or maybe even some legal requirements where you cannot send these documents off to some machine? Like Europe, for example, has some pretty amazing privacy laws. What can they do?
Right. So the great lead into the fact, remember I talked about read always simultaneously ships as a service in the container. Mm-hmm. So all you have to do is go search the internet for read containers, Microsoft Read OCR or Microsoft OCR containers, and you will come to this page, which is, by the way, part of the OCR documentation in computer vision, right? And right here, you will get all the details to apply. So OCR read, OCR containers are gated in the sense that we require businesses to actually request access. And so if you follow this, there's a request form that you got to fill out. Approval happens pretty quickly, but once you have that, there's a whole instruction on how to go ahead and actually download the Docker container. In fact, I have the Docker container running right now on my laptop. Right?
All right,
so it's as easy as that. And so if I go back to show you, right here, see that? So it's running on my local host right on my laptop here. And in fact, that's the Swagger. And you will notice I actually use the same image here. By the way, this has a sync operation too, right? So I can just use a sync analyze if I'm lazy enough. And so I choose this file here on the same image one, right? The same image here. Actually, let me choose a different one. This one, image 2, right? And then execute. Now, this is a sync operation that we provide in the container. That means you get the results right away. You don't have to do a get read result, but there you go. Right?
This is running on your laptop in a container.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's right.
And so basically now, if you set this up in your organization, these documents effectively never leave the premises.
That is correct. Yes. Nothing leaves your premises. Nothing leaves your compliance boundaries. The only thing the container will connect to Azure is to transmit the billing usage, right? Transactions and so on, so that you get billed at the rate. Okay.
That is really cool. So where can people go to find out more?
Yeah, so really just search for Microsoft OCR read documentation. It will take you straight to this overview page, which is right here, OCR overview, right? In fact, that was the page that was open here. And so if you come to this page, there's everything that you need to know, including a quick start that uses the same Python SDK, that sample that I'm using, along with the APIs. And then including some really interesting, we're talking about data privacy and security. This is just published content, from our responsible AI team here. In fact, so there you can go. And then also within the how to read, you can understand how to call the read API. And this is what we have been going through in this session right now, right? These features, right? And then, and then the read container stuff is right here. So it's all right here.
This is really cool stuff. I'm flashing these links up so everyone can see them. Well, this has been amazing. Thank you so much for spending some time with us. We've been learning all about what's new in computer vision, OCR with Sanjeev. Thanks so much for being with us. Thank you so much for watching, and hopefully we'll see you next time. Take care. How about them apples? That was awesome. Now I can turn the music back on here. Questions. This was cool. I really like that. Sanjeev, you're a pro. Let's go through some of the questions and thoughts. By the way, everyone loved the Friday motivation quotes that you chose. Those are beautiful. I teared up a little.
Our job is to inspire, isn't it?
Yeah, that's right. This cold heart was almost melted. Almost. All right. So here is Jay McCormick. OCR has really improved in the last year. Yeah, deep learning has changed stuff, which is really cool. So there's the quick start, by the way. And here's Jay. OCR has really improved in the last year. Here's a question. This is Jay. Do you have to define the styles? What other options do you get back? Would it be safe to assume that not handwriting equals block text? Is language returned in the JSON? So I think Jay is asking about what does the JSON return look like?
Yeah, so and I can share my screen again if you like, and we can go to the JSON response. But in general, we don't output the language ID yet. Remember, we are using universal models. So in fact, the service doesn't even know actually which language of text exists. It will just apply a big hammer to it and get you everything. It doesn't care. And so, but I think customers do appreciate knowing as an output, and so we're certainly investigating that. It's just that we don't need to know the language to extract.
That's cool. Which is interesting because if you think about it, the thing that makes deep learning cool is that you can hides things in the inner layers if the model is deep enough. Here's a comment from Dilly. It's wonderful. I think so too. Here's Jose Silva. Can we use this OCR in ML.NET without requesting Azure services just in offline mode? I think you totally can with containers. Is that right, Sanjeev?
That's correct. Yes. If you can use containers, then yes, you can use read offline. Although, remember, offline, we take a meaning where containers don't absolutely connect to Azure or they don't need internet connectivity. We don't have offline containers today, right? 100% offline disconnected containers today. We have connected containers that do ping Azure every 10 minutes or so for the billing usage, but that's on the roadmap. The offline containers, strictly offline containers are also on the roadmap too.
Love it. Question from Costa Rica. We have a project where we need to read text from things like water bottles, but depending on the light, not all characters are read. Any tips?
Yeah, so I think the customers will come and ask us these questions. Hey, can we do some pre-processing, right? Can we change the light or can we crop the images out? And we always tell them, don't do any pre-processing. The whole point of deep learning and our philosophy is throw anything at us and we'll try our best to analyze, debug, test, improve in the next release going out. So really, we don't care whether it's low light or bad light or less light. Just give us everything. We'll get back to you. We'll say, yeah, this is really impossible, or we'll just try to improve our service. So really, keep it simple.
Awesome. By the way, I'm still looking on Learn TV. If you're on Learn TV, make sure. Oh, here's some. Oh my goodness, there's tons of questions on Learn TV. I am new. Hello from India. Welcome, Doshi. Super excited that you're here. Is OCR able to separate the recognized text into sections / paragraphs? That's from Chak Kul Wong. Yeah, right. Yeah. The read order is important. Tell us about that if you missed that.
Yeah, so the read order kind of gives you the basic ingredient to do some of your own paragraph analysis there and try to create some distinction. But really, the right answer to that is paragraph detection, and including titles, headers, footers. I mean, a page can have a lot of things in that, and all of that recognition is coming on our roadmap. So check out, keep a tab on the form recognizer layout and those features there. That's where we will embed those features there.
Yeah, and because it's interesting how y'all have decided to separate let's recognize the text over here, and then let's recognize layout over here, and then let's put them together into something cool.
Right, exactly. That's right.
This is from Michael Garrod on Learn TV. Does Azure have handwritten or handwriting recognition?
Yeah, so I think we briefly demoed the English handwritten support there. But the more interesting news there is that we are expanding language support for that. So customers can look forward to simplified Chinese and Latin. Tier 1, some of the main Latin language expansion pretty soon, actually, very soon this year. And then even more, actually, coming towards the end of the year.
From Jose Silva, what's the difference between this OCR and Tesseract OCR? I don't even know what Tesseract OCR is.
Yeah, so I would tell Jose that just try the test, do your own benchmarking between read and tesseract, and I think you might see the difference there.
If
That's
that's a
all.
competitor, like you don't want our opinion on competitors. Like I'm biased, so it's. I think I know what that is now. I know what that is. I don't know the difference, and if I did, it'd be biased. So you probably don't want to ask me, Jose. But I'm glad you're. I'm actually interested, Jose. Reach out to me if you try. If you try them and you're like, hey, Seth, from an unbiased perspective, and you can even tell me in Spanish, a mí no me gusta, ¿por qué? And then I'll be like, and then I'm sure Sanjeev would want to know.
Yeah, in fact, even I will say muchas gracias. Yeah.
No, look at you. Look at you. All right. So Ankit has a question. What are the various future prospects planned for? Oh, this is different. Ankit, let me get back to you, buddy, because I have some thoughts on this one myself. Jay's excited about this. Here's another one. Can this OCR read dot printed characters? I don't know what that is.
Yeah, so that's, I think, just try it. I would say go to, and remember, use the read API, not the old OCR API. Yeah. But try it on any kind of text. And if you don't get good results, send it back to us. Send it to Seth. Seth will
Yes,
get it
right.
back to me.
Send it to me, and then I'll ping Sanjeev. Be like, Sanjeev, what the heck? Fantastic. Looks like we've covered all of the questions. Sanjeev, you're a star, man. Thanks for being with us.
Sure, it's a pleasure. It's always fun.
All right, buddy. We'll talk to you soon. We're gonna say goodbye to Sanjeev. Everyone say bye to Sanjeev.
Bye.
Bye. Take care, my friend.
Okay. Bye, sir. Thanks.
All right. Now it's just us. I've got this video game stuff in the background. I like this. I might save this. I don't know why I like the retro video game stuff. I wonder if I can save it. I should figure this out before I do other stuff. Ankit, let's go back to Ankit's question because I think that's important. Let me add this here so that I don't forget. Ankit's question is very good. Let me see if I can scroll back. What are the various future prospects planned for the upcoming releases of Onyx framework for embedded development and ML ops? I don't know. I know the person who's working on some of this stuff. We work. The Onyx runtime is something very powerful. If you don't know what Onyx is, think of it as like the PDF for deep learning PDF. So there is that. The thing about Onyx that's cool is if we can make Onyx a thing, we can effectively start to coalesce the pipeline for ML ops into like these are the assets that we need to produce. Like for example, if you're writing in .NET, and eventually you just come out with a .exe on Windows, then anyone can build anything in any language, and if it goes to a .exe, you can run it. So think of it like that So I really like that question from Ankit, and then he follows up with this. There's always been issues when it comes to using various offsets being compatible across various inference applications. Can we please have an update on it? It looks quite incomplete to me when experimenting. Yeah, and the reason why is because not everyone has necessarily agreed, to do things in Onyx. There's a certain number of people. I pushed the wrong one. There's a certain number of people that are excited about Onyx. The groups like PyTorch really has embraced Onyx. I don't know what offset compatibilities there are. I know at Microsoft, they're pretty excited about Onyx. In fact, they built something called the Onyx runtime that makes it easier to run things across. At Intel, they have something called OpenVINO, which runs Onyx well. And the Onyx runtimes, the Onyx stuff that they do not run, the Onyx runtime takes over. But I ran into offset incompatibilities. And if you're wondering what the heck that means, imagine serializing matrix operations and then having a new model that uses different like loss function that uses a different something, like a different activation. Let's just say ReLU is no longer the cool thing and there's a new one, right? That's a new operation and it doesn't belong to the offsets inside of Onyx. And so you get these major incompatibilities. So here's another one. So just to get the two for Ankit, looks incomplete. And the second one is especially quantization in Onyx hardware. Think about this. Like, remember, if the bigger the model, the more numbers are in it. And if those numbers are all doubles or floats, it's big, but quantization actually puts the numbers into something that's less than a float, taking up less space in a float. So basically, you're saying if you're between this interval, then you snap to it, which makes the data types smaller, which makes the model smaller. But how things are quantized really depends. And so Ankit has stumbled upon something that is hard to fix, only because not a single company has a monopoly on any of those things. Number one. Number two, everyone has an opinion on how it should be done. Like if you're quantizing a model, do you use the average? Do you use the min or the max? I don't know. Here's another one. Do you know this? Yes, of course. Netron is fantastic. In fact, many times we've opened our neural network models using Netron. Yes, Jose, thank you. For those that don't know about Netron, you should go look at it. It's really powerful, really cool. Sanjeev is awesome. He's saying, hey, thanks for attending and asking awesome questions. Hit him up on Twitter, the tweets for questions anytime. Super nice guy, by the way. Oh, here's one. Yeah, Ankit, email me. My email is firstname.lastname@microsoft.com. Onyx Runtime gives troubles when using different optimizations for huge yeah, I want to know what those are, and I know exactly who to talk to get those sorted out. Netron is indeed dope. Ankit, dude, I want to hear from you. Send me some deets on the Twitter. I'm at Seth Juarez on Twitter. All right, I think I got through all the things. Let me make sure I close all of these things. We did this one. We did this one. We did. I don't know what this is. I talked about that. Okay. All right. Now it's time to get to work. We wanted to. Oh, hold on. It's time to get to work, my friends. So let's do that. I accidentally muted myself. I pushed the wrong button. Ivana, thank you so much. It's coming. Trust me. That was my bad. Just give me a thumbs up if you can hear me. So what happens is I have a bunch of buttons, and the mute button is right above the work button. So I must have fat fingered. How embarrassing. All right, let's do it again. Let's get to work. All right, there you go. Is that better? Everyone can hear me now? Yeah, I fat fingered the stuff. And Ankit, thank you for your questions, buddy. These are great questions. Yeah, Jose, I do know about the virtual ML.NET community conference. Yeah, I did see it. Luis, I think Luis Quintanilla was there, and there was a ton of other people there as well. The PM, she's awesome. If you like .NET, it's fantastic. I think ML.NET is awesome for doing inference type stuff. I haven't used it for training yet. I'm curious to that. I haven't looked at it. You know, I used to be a .NET programmer for like a decade. And then I went to school and did machine learning. And machine learning at the time was mostly Python, but it was still early when I went. I was doing machine learning before it was popular. So, yeah. Let me close my email. I don't want to get any weird. Okay. So, is anyone interested in a review of what we've got so far? The last thing we did is I tried to launch this, and it didn't work. That's what I remember last. There's a way to get the workspace here. So let's run this here. So let me start a new. Workspace directory VS Code. How do we get the workspace directory? There's like a let's do the launch.json. Launch.json workspace directory. What I'm doing is I'm trying to make it so that I can hit F5. I can hit F5 and it'll run the entire project. Here it is. Is it workspace root? No. File name dir. Workspace folder. That's it. Okay, so remember I couldn't get the launch.json to work because I want to run it. So this tells me which path to go into. So we'll do workspace folder /src. And then now, in theory, I should be able to just hit F5 and it'll run. So let's try it. It's working. Fantastic. Let's set some breakpoints here on the trainer here. Looks like I already did. Okay. So just a little reminder. Roshambo is rock, paper, scissors. And what we're trying to do is we're trying to make an AI that will look at a picture of me doing rock, paper, scissors and tell me which one it is. So the data is right here. These are the images I'm using to train, I think. Let's go over here to the data. Yeah, looks like I load up the data and I split into train and validation data sets. And I think I'm passing the images folder. And the way I know is it's right here, data.images. So let's go into this. Looks like it's done. This is a speedy model. This is me doing paper. And remember, when we started this, I had used computer vision to do this, but I wanted something a little bit more faster, and I wanted to get into ML ops and custom machine learning. So there's me doing rock, and then there's me doing scissors. So these are the images that it used. There's the trainer. It's saving the model, F10, self.model.save, and looks like it's done. Let's go over to the outputs, and there's the model. Oh, here we go. Looks like I had saved one before. And let's reveal this one in File Explorer. And let's open this up. Yeah, so the question from Jose, is this project on GitHub? It most certainly is. So I'll show you where it's at. It's github.com, AI Advocate Roshambo. Right here. You can totally look at it. I remember I got it working last time, but it was kind of sloppy. By the way, here's the model in Netron that we just built. It's super tiny, but I think it's good. A good model though. Let's take a look at the checkpoints here to see what the accuracy is. Yeah, we're getting 97% accuracy on this particular checkpoint. But I think the reality is that I think I'm saving the last checkpoint. So I gotta get the best checkpoint, and that we have not done yet. That's the part we have not done yet. So let me do this. Let me clear this out, because we don't want these. It's garbage. Never look back. Never look back. And let's see if we can get a little more sticky on the save path, because I know that for this one, we're passing in a path to the out. Is it passing? Where is it putting the? What path are we putting in there? So this is the path to the data, but how does it know where to output stuff? Like, how does it know to put it in outputs? That's my question. All right, and then we have this. We have this CLI. How does it know where to save things? Let's go to this config.yaml. Oh yeah, please remove question. Yes, thank you, Jose. Okay, this is how it knows what the directory for things are. Okay. So I think what we should do is we should fix this so that it knows where to save the file, the outputs of this stuff. Because it looks like it knows about the checkpoints, knows where to save the checkpoints. And now we need to know where to save. Because right now I don't like this. I don't like this. I don't like this like hard passing in things. I like having everything passed in via the config. So I think the best place to do this is in the model. And in the model, we can actually add something similar to the data, which is and this is going to be the output dir. So Jose is asking, am I using TensorFlow? No, I'm using PyTorch and PyTorch Lightning. So if you look at this, you can see right here, this is the data stuff. So I'm transforming. I think I need to do a quick review. But let me do this, and then I'll do a review once we step through everything so that you can see. So we have this. I think we need to have this. And then we need to have output dir, right? And then why is this mad at me? Oh, I think this needs to go last. This needs to go last because it doesn't have a default thing. So let's put this last. Okay, nice. And so now I can say self dot output dir equals path output dir. And then remember there was a save. There was a save that I made. There you go. There's the save. We don't need this anymore, right? We just need the self.output dir. Output dir equals self.output dir, and then we can do this. Boop. Nice. Oh, we don't need this anymore. We don't need this anymore because we did that already. I'll just put the resolve in the constructor here. And okay, so now what we're going to have to do in the config.yaml is we have to pass in an output directory. So we'll put that here in the model. I'm guessing it's going to be this one, output directory, and we're going to say ..forward output / here's the other thing though. It looks like there's a default root dir too. Maybe we don't have to do it this way. Let me go back here because I don't want to pollute. I don't know if I want to pollute this. I don't know if I want to do this. So let me go back over here and let's see if I can get the self dot. What was it? What was it? The default root dir. Default root dir. Does it have that? Trainer. Oh, maybe it's the trainer. Trainer. Okay. Default. There it is. Let's just do this. Model dir equals self. We'll do path here. Dot resolve / model. And then what I can do is I can say model dir. I can do this instead. Okay. Cool. This is better. This is better. This is way better. I don't have to do this. I don't have to do this. Cool. Okay, so we'll fix that. I think I need to undo all of this. So let me undo. All right. Oh, okay. Okay. So Jose is asking, why did I choose PyTorch? I like PyTorch. So I am agnostic in the PyTorch versus TensorFlow thing. The only thing is that when PyTorch, I used PyTorch 1.4, and then I moved to 2.0 and then did like 2.1 for a little bit. The thing I did not like about TensorFlow was the way that they handled data. It was a little counterintuitive to me. And I also like the class structure much better in Python. But that's just me. Doesn't mean that PyTorch is better than TensorFlow. That's not what I'm saying. What deep learning architecture am I using? I'm using a Resonate 18 right here. And then I have 2 fully connected nodes there. Yeah. That's why I chose PyTorch. Great questions, Jose. Perfecto. All right. So now, in theory, I don't need this. I can just save this. This is a default root directory in the trainer. And so now, let's see. Let me go to the model here and let me force this to be a path instead. Path. And then I can just say like this. I don't need to do this now. Okay. Okay. So now I've basically taken out the all the other stuff. So let's run it again and see if this fixes it. And then the other thing is, again, I don't know if we're getting the best model. We're just getting the last model. I'll let that run. There's a lot of stuff in self, right? Maybe in the trainer dot. Oh, remember we had the checkpoint callbacks? There's one. What's in here? Because I want the best. Oh, here it is. Here it is. Oh. Okay, it's saving the model. Oh, it worked. It worked. Good. So now I don't have to have like a burned in path. Outputs model. There it is. Cool. All right. So now we need to get the best. I want to get the best one. Okay. Best model path. Okay. So how do I? This is interesting. So because let me tell you what's happening, so you can all follow along with me. So what happens is these models save checkpoints, right? And these checkpoints, like it may, like, as the epoch goes along, as the training goes along, right? It might like have like a really good epoch, and then another epoch might be garbage, and the last one might be the garbage epoch, and that's not the one I want to keep, right? I want to keep the one that's actually good. So the question is, how do I get the actual, and I'm looking at this here, how do I get the actual best one? So it looks like we have the best model path here. So let's start with there. Best model equals this. Bets. Best model. And then I'm trying to get done with this so that we can move on to like learning React real quick, so that we can put this in a website. So this is the best model here. Let's see what we got in here. We gotta load this model up somehow. What do we got in here? By the way, I'm totally a dot programmer here. Here we go. Here we go. Best model. Model equals model. And we don't want to do the self one. Cool. I think this does it. right? Because again, the reality is we might not have like the best. The last epoch might not be the best checkpoint, and so this now gets us the best model path. I load up the model, and then I get the dir from the default route, and then I save. Boom. I think that's it, right? I think that's it. Okay, so let's run it one more time. And let's F5. Boop. Very good. Let's look at our config.yaml. Min delta. Let's give it a higher patience for the next run. Let me give it a patience of 5. We want to squeeze the lemon for all the juice. Ho says, Seth, I've seen a website with a catalog of various deep learning architectures, but I forgot what it was. Can you recommend a site that has a good catalog of various deep learning architectures? I usually search for Model Zoo. While it's running, let's do it. Model Zoo. Deep learning model zoo. Boop. Oh, look at that. Here you go. Boom. Yeah, looks like they're all here. There used to be a diagram too. Oh, even better. Look at that. Everything we always wanted, which is super cool. All right. Yeah, Model Zoo. Thank you. Great question. All right, so we'll minimize this. Looks like we are done. Notice that the current model, if I were to look at self.modeled, let's go to the debug console. Self.model. Model. Let's go up here. By the way, this is all Visual Studio Code saving our bacon. Self.model, control space. Oh, jeez. Trying to figure out. Let me go back down. Let me see. Self.model. I want to see if I can get its accuracy or it's not its H params, but I want to see how good this one is because the cool. I want to make sure that we're doing the right thing, right? Not parameters. Oh, maybe it's optimized. No. I guess I could save them as parameters, but the reality is I want to make sure that we get the best model. Got it. Notice it actually changed it. Boom. Okay. All right. So, I want to step through all of this so you can see what's happening because the code looks deceptively clean, right? And we started from garbage before. Just to remind everyone, let me bring up what we started from. I stole Seth Juarez from myself. Something in food AI, right? Food AI is what I had, and this is what our stuff used to look like.
Don't be afraid to borrow.
Yeah, don't be afraid.
Chord progressions.
This is perfect. I'm borrowing from myself. Thank you, background music. But notice that the code was very like, it was a lot. It wasn't, and everything was kind of all over the place. So what we decided to do is we decided to use PyTorch Lightning, PyTorch Lightning, real dumpster fire. Thanks, Kevin. Kevin's the guy that keeps us honest. Thank you, Kevin. So we use PyTorch Lightning to make it a little bit more, how should I say, less ugly. You know what I'm saying? We wanted to make it less messy. And so we decided to go with PyTorch Lightning. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to step through the code so you can see exactly what is happening. Okay, so there's the init. on this one, and then the data module is the init here. And then we'll just step through like an epoch or two, right? Because it feels like this is hiding a lot of stuff. Looks like we don't need this anymore. Nice. We don't need this anymore. Kaboom. We don't need this. We don't need this anymore. Kaboom. It says we don't need these things, but that worries me. All right. So now, love deleting code. Deleting code is the best. Let's F5 this and see if we can't step through. So basically, machine learning is fun because basically machine learning is a way of trying to create a function out of data. We have to give the function a shape, and then we have to optimize its internal parameters so that it does the right thing. So we'll do F11. Very good. So the first thing is we need to give it our data. So we give it our data. We give it our data here, and you can see that it's data.images. You're wondering, well, where the heck is this coming from? Because you don't see it anywhere. But it's because we're using the CLI, the Lightning CLI. It creates this wonderful file for us, the config.yaml, that has all of the stuff in there. Like, for example, the data dir. Also, there's three things that you need when you're doing PyTorch Lightning stuff. You need a trainer, which actually does the training. You need the model itself, and then you need the data. So notice that we actually need these backwards because it needs the data first, right, to run all this stuff. And so that's what you're seeing me go through right now. So there's the data dir. I'll put a breakpoint here. Batch size, train split, this all comes. And now it's loading up the model. So we'll F10, 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 F10. And now it's setting up the data because it built the model. Now it's setting up the data. This is the transformation. This is the image folder with the raw data, right? You can see all of the images in there. Boom, 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 boom. These are the classes. We have none, paper, rock, and scissors. PyTorch gets that from the folder names, which is really nice. And then we do a training split. You can set 291 for training. And then the validation's 73 images. Then we do a random split. And there you go. Now it configures the optimizer to optimize stuff. And notice that the cool thing about PyTorch Lightning is it lets you put it all into one place. So this is what you're used to if you're regular PyTorchy folks. This is what PyTorch Lightning adds for you. You can return like your optimizer, your learning rate scheduler, etc. Boom, boom, boom. Very nice. So there's our data loader. Now we do our validation step. Boom. I put this into a compute because it's the same for training and validation. And for the compute, you can see we run the batch on itself, which is this inherits from nn.module, which then inherits Lightning module inherits from nn.module, which is the PyTorchy stuff. So we run it. Then I get the loss. I'm using cross entropy loss between. So this is our guess. This is the truth. We want this to be 0. And then these are our predictions. And then this is our accuracy, right? What it returns is it returns a vector of size 1, of size 4. And in here, there's some numbers. And the one with the highest number is the one we guess. And the classes are those ones that you saw before right here. Oh, I wonder if I can. Oh, here we go. This is just a number. All right. So now we'll log the accuracy, the blum. Then there's the training. Now we're doing some training. So we do through this step. There it's going through the training. Boom, 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 boom. It's probably going to do like a couple of epochs. I don't know how many epochs. I changed the patience to 5. So for 5 epochs, it'll keep going until it can't really get any more accuracy. Maybe 5 was too much because if you look at it right here, it's already pretty good. All right. So now that it's done, it's getting the best model. It's load there. Notice it has to rebuild this. Oh, F5. Is it going back to here? No, that's it. And it's done. Okay, any questions about what I just did? The code, I think, is complete. The YAML, I think, is good. Yeah, I think it's good. Okay. So now it's time to remember we tried to do Roshambo.ai. I bought the domain name Roshambo.ai, but it's like broken. Rawr. So here's a question I want to put to you all. Right now, I have the client in here. Should this be a completely different repo, or should we all do like a huge mono repo? I'll give everyone some time to think about it. Like, now by client, I mean we want to make a website that looks at the pictures in my browser and does predictions. Kevin's saying, what about adding epoch tracking with ML Flow? Do you want to see something really, really cool? Let me do this. Def before fit or before instantiate classes. Let's do this. Let's he's telling me to use ML Flow, so let's import ML Flow. Okay. All right. Let me just say ML Flow dot auto log done. All right, looks like I'm done with the ML Flow. Boom. Let's see what it does. Because I've recently learned ML Flow auto log. So here in automatic logging, PyTorch. What? PyTorch auto logging supports only models trained using PyTorch Lightning. Yeah. Autologging is triggered on calls to PyTorch Lightning trainer.fit and captures the following information: training loss, validation loss, average test accuracy, and user-defined metrics. Fit parameters: optimize name, learning rate, epsilon, model summary on training start, ML flow model on training end. Yes, Kevin, indeed. The soundboard was the greatest thing I have purchased during the pandemic. It's true. Thank you, Kevin. Yeah, this is cool. And then what else does it do? PyTorch Lightning callbacks early stopping. Do we have that? Do we have early stopping? Oh shoot! Did I just break everything in Visual Studio Code? Oh no, it's in F5. Oh, I set so many breakpoints, friends. All right, so let's go back here. Did I do early stopping? Did I do early stopping? I don't know. We did. We did. So I'm hoping that it does. We did. We added it before, way before. And the reason why I'm bringing it up is because notice that PyTorch Autolog does for early stopping. It does all this other stuff too. So yeah. If no active run exists when Autolog captures data, MLflow will automatically create a run to log information, ending the run once the call to PyTorch Lightning trainer.fit completes. If a run already exists when Autolog captures data, MLflow will log to that run, but not automatically end that run after training. So we might need to get a little pointier later on starting a specific ML flow run, but we'll leave that to something else We'll leave that till later. Here's the checkpoints. Here's the model. Here's the model. Here's the lightning logs. And you're like, where is the ML flow? Aquí está. Muy bonito. Look at that. So Kevin was like, Seth, man, we're going to have to spend the rest of the hour putting ML flow in. Come on, dude. Boom. What up now? How about them apples? Learning stuff every day. Whew. By the way, I'm trying to be all cool because it's like, wow, Seth knows so much. I like figured this out the other day. I was going to pretend I'm like figuring it out, but I'm not going to pretend anymore. I know what I know. By the way, specifically, it's this. This is the call that it's making. And let me show you. I'm not gonna. I don't want to be critical of this, but this to me is weird, like how this was built. Like, and maybe I'm not like as good a Python guy as I thought. Maybe, but this is how it does all of this stuff. And they're like, broaden this beyond PyTorch Lightning. Yeah, I'm just glad it's in PyTorch Lightning. It's great. And then it just goes ahead and sets stuff up for everything. So when I call autolog, it sets everything up for everything that it can. So these are the things that it's available for autologging. So if you're a TensorFlow or a Keras person, Gluon, XGBoost, Light GBM, Stats Model, Spark, sklearn, FastAI, and PyTorch. It does that for you. So it's just really nice. And then you can see it's all here. It put it in ML runs, which is fantastico. Yeah, it's really good. So good call, Kevin. And then the other thing is, notice that I just literally tapped into the pre-thing in the Lightning CLI and just said, hey, let's get going. I should probably be a little bit more dogmatic when it comes to actually starting an ML Flow an ML Flow experiment with tracking so that it's named properly. So we'll figure that out later. Looks like I don't want to save anything in ML runs, so let's put that in there. ML runs, boom. Goodbye. Okay. So let's check this in so everyone can get status. Look, I know there's a way to go over here and do this stuff, but I don't know how. And one time I did it. What do I just hit all add at stage all changes? Okay, I'm gonna try it now. Okay, enter a message to commit. Config full config based paths best model selection. Okay, so now that I do that, commit. Okay, I'm committing. Oh, okay, cool. I sign all my commits. So ABC 1, 2, 3, Abi. Okay, so now that it's committed, is it pushed up though? Push. Yes. Did it do it? I don't even know. Show get output. Oh, there it is. I don't even. What is this doing? ¿Qué pasó? Now I don't know if it's there. Okay, so let's go to AI advocates. Roshambo. For sure, there's some. Oh, yeah, it did. It did do it. Oh. Well, I'll be a monkey's uncle. I learned how to do something new. So I'm done with you. So let's go back to terminal. By the way, how about this terminal? Isn't this a beaut? Except for like there's like little tiny little mistakes here. You see that? And then right here, tiny, very tiny. It used to be worse, but it just got better with the latest release. How about this? It tells me, yeah, see, it should be happy now. All the changes are in. All right, so if everyone goes there, you'll be able to see all the stuff we just did. Okay, so now the actual question. Should I just build some huge mono repo and just do this stuff in here? And I feel like Docusaurus was the wrong idea. Should I just do it all in the same repo? What do y'all think? Or should I have the website, Roshambo.ai, be in a different Git repo? I'd love your thoughts. I'll wait for you all. Tell me what you want. What you really, really want. Because I don't know, I'm torn. I guess because remember we built this GitHub action and we tried to do like a static website and it didn't work. Jay is Jay is like my conscience, right? It's like, what should I do? Oh, thank goodness. Jay is here. He's my conscience. Okay, same repo. Thank you, Jay. He's like two sub DIRs, one for web, one for model. Okay, so let's go over here. So are you okay with, like, I have source right here. Should I change this? Beldathas from Twitch. Monorepo. I know, I kind of want to use a buzzword. I'm like, I totally built a mono repo. What's some Now, new with our Roshambo.ai, a mono repo that has all of your needs in one single place. Act now and get a free coffee mug. Two sub DIRs, one for model. I love that terminal. Yeah, the terminal window is fantastic. If anyone's interested, how did I do this? What did I so you can see it here. In here it's much better, right? It's like completely clean. So if I go to CD Roshambo, it's a beautiful. It tells me what conda environment I'm in, because obvi boom. And then also, just if I do something, if I run it as an admin, oh, everything went dark. You can see that it also says to me, uh-oh, somebody is running with the lightning. Chimney votes for a different repo. Okay, 2 against 1. And, you know, I just do what the people want. I'm here to shake hands and kiss babies. Yeah, and so what happens is, because I use this PowerShell thing, PowerShell CLI as my CLI tool, it copies it over here, which is it's beautiful. Like this is a beautiful. It makes me feel like I'm a real programmer. Beldathas. I remember Scott Hanselman had a whole video explaining how to set up all the terminal things. There's actually a real easy way to do it now. I got to find it. I'm telling you what I told everybody about it. Terminal. You're talking about this Hanselman thing. Ooh, yes. Powerline Go. You see this? Beautiful. But there's a new one. Oh, here it is. Oh my posh. There's a new version for Oh my posh. Where is it? Oh my posh 2. Oh, now read only. Oh my posh. So this is the actual one. No. This is not it. This is Keith Dalby's stuff. This is not the thing I want. There is a new oh geez, where is it? Windows terminal. Let's roll. Three these directions. Install Windows Forget. Oh my posh. This man. PS read line. Same name. Pick the theme. Is this the right thing? A prompt theme engine for any shell. Documentation. Oh my posh.dev. Yeah, this is it. This is it. This is the one. This is the one that I did. Because if you haven't used this at all, it's super easy to set up. And you just literally add blocks. It's beautiful. Like, it's super cool. And my profile is just basically, it's a file that you save. Like, let's see here. So cd boom. There it is. There, I was pointing with my finger like a goober. So code dot my posh.json, and you can see here. Let's close this. This is what describes my my command line. It's so cool. So cool. You can see it all in there. So that's what's describing it. And so let's go back to that website so you all can. Oh, I have it over here. Here, just ohmyposh.dev. You want to do something that beautiful, and then what happens is in my command line tool, I just basically, my default is PowerShell, and so that's why this shows up. Okay, looks like everyone is excited for mono repo except for one, Chinmay Trivedi. So we're gonna do it in here, and I thought we would do Docusaurus, but I don't know. Everyone's telling me to use next.js. So let's go see what that's all about. By Vercel, the React framework for production. Now, for those wondering, you're like, well, what the heck are you doing right now? Well, I have to make a website where people can use this model because in theory, the model is done, right? Like the model, like we built it. This model is good. There's the class. I should probably stick like the accuracy and stuff in there, but I didn't. Question from Jose. Do you use Ski Sharp Stack? I don't. So I'll be honest with you. I haven't used .NET in a while. It's been a year or so. In fact, I was looking at some of the new innovations in C# 9, and I was like, I don't even recognize the language anymore. Someone, Joe Plum is saying yes, all in one repo. This is on Learn TV. Looks like I got 3 to 1. So should I rename the source to like Roshambo AI or something? Should I do that? And then have another one named like Site or something, or Rochambo Site. How should I name these things? I always have a hard time. Like the hardest thing in computer science is off by one errors and naming things. Thoughts on this? What should I name it? So let's get this out so we can write it down. So there's two things that we're trying to figure out here. Here we go. Turn on. Here we go. Okay. Oh. So the two questions. One, name for AI folder. 2, name for website folder. What should those be? Beldatha says the current naming is fine. Thank you. I know, but you know what? Like when my significant other says fine, usually that means I need to investigate, do a little more introspection. And they're always right. So are you like, Beldathas, are you like, fine? Fine. Or, I don't know. I feel like everyone's like, Nobody cares. Like, I worry about how I name these things, y'all. Okay, so let's do this. It feels like I need to know React. Belda's like, the current naming is excellent. I need to have you be my motivational. Like, I'm gonna like frame this, and on my window in the morning, just be like, yes. So Cedric's like, what have I? No, not this. Cedric's like, what have I just walked into? It's a good question. So basically, we're building a Roshambo website that will look at you and you can play rock paper scissors. And so now we need to actually build the website part, because I think the model stuff is pretty solid, and we got into a really good repeatable process. I know Cedric's like, right? What is this? What have I entered into? Where are we? I'm scared. Jose is saying, I've used TensorBoard. TensorBoard, which one do you use? TensorBoard actually works with PyTorch Lightning too. In fact, if you look here in the outputs, these checkpoints or the logs totally have the TF events stuff in there. So I'm logging up the yin yang. There's logging here for this. There's checkpoints coming out of here. There's also models being dumped out, and there's the ML flow stuff. And so we are logging everywhere, because with these things, like, you want to be able to go back to and be like, what happened? You'll know. Okay. Two directories. Here we go. AI and web. Again, remember, J is our conscience. So let's rename this here to AI. Boop. Oh, there's stuff open in it. Of course it's not going to let me do it. File systems. Okay, let's rename this here. And let's rename this to AI. Boop. What? I think I have something open. So let's exit this. Anything else I have open? It's like, oh yeah, it's the folder. This. Let's close everything. Let's rename this to. Let's try one more time. AI. Oh, it's hot. We close it. I'll show you. See projects. Roshambo. Because source is, I agree. Source is kind of a little. Did it not do it? Yeah, it did. It did. And then refresh here, rename here. Web. Okay. So should I move the notebooks into the AI section? I think I should. So let's do that. I think I should move the outputs and the data there too, right? Boop, boop. Now let's Visual Studio Code this, and let's fix the mess that is all of this, because we just moved everything. Let's go to the to config.yaml, right? We don't need this anymore. We can just say outputs and checkpoints. This can be the default root dir is this. This is now the images. Yeah, so Alejandro is asking, it's a really good question. What is this? Yeah, we are building an AI. Here, I'll show you. I'll just run it because everyone keeps asking. I'll show you one that we made before. CD vision ls here, and then we'll do CD client ls, and then I'll do less on the package.json because I don't remember what this is written in. Is this yarn? Serve. So quit. Yeah, it's a yarn lock. So we'll say yarn serve. And let's run this so you can see we're building this, but from scratch. Like before we built the model, we used a pre-built model, and I wanted to show like an MLOps end-to-end over the period of a couple of weeks. So this is Control C, and then we're going to make it a lot better than what we currently have. So we'll go over here, and then I'll put this here, and then my camera number 2 here. Let me get this camera number 2 because I'm obviously using this other camera. So now you're getting camera number 2. All right. And so if I do this, notice it says rock, paper, scissors, rock, paper, scissors, rock, paper, scissors. Do you see that? That's what we're building. So, but this is cheesy, and I was actually using a model from. Oh man, there's 2 Seths. Let's have them look at each other. Yeah, and so basically we're rebuilding this, except we're building our own custom model. I used Custom Vision for this, which is nice, but I wanted to show everyone how to build one of these from scratch, from AI to website to ML ops, and then to eventually the goal is to have other people play, because the AI only knows me right now, right? It's really good at knowing me. Eventually I want to get it so that like other people can go on and play against each other, which would be fun. And so I want to show how sprinkling a little bit of AI makes something a little bit more personable. So that's what we're building, this thing right here. So we actually we finished CLS exit or exert. So we finished building the website of the AI, and now we're refactoring everything so that we can have a mono repo for the Roshambo AI part and the web part. But now I need to make sure that now that I've moved everything, that everything still works, right? So let's try it. Oh, and then the other thing is that now the launch.json needs to change. So it's going to be AI instead, right? And so in theory, I should be able to hit F5 and everything runs to build a model. So right now we're doing a little bit of the refactoring to make this project, and this project is available on GitHub, and so it's all open. And I even bought a domain name, Roshambo.ai, so that we could all play. The goal is eventually to play one another. Hopefully, be done with this in a couple of months, and then what I'll do at the end when we've got this all working is I'll do a recap show where we'll just step through everything in a small way. But I'm actually building this as I go, and so I haven't really done this. I've done similar things, but I want to put it all together. And then Jose Silva says, is this deep learning model available in Onyx format? Yeah, in fact, if you look at our outputs, let's make sure the checkpoints. Yeah, everything seems to be doing the right thing. You're going to see an output here in Onyx. Right, boom, there it is. So that's where that is. Okay. All right, so everything's working. So let's do this. Let's check all these changes in. Plus. And then we're going to say cleaned up folder structure. And then hit the check mark to commit. Put in my password, ABC123, obviously. And then I am going to push. And so now you should see here. There it is. So the question is from Jose, are you using WCell 2 for this project? No, I am not. I'm using straight Windows. Okay. So now this is all in the format that we want. The AI is done. Now, what is this source thing? Oh, that's weird. It puts the that's weird. It puts the ML flow stuff here, which is weird to me. Delete. Maybe I should try running that again. Let me try one. No, it puts it here too. Oh, I think that's. Wait a minute. What? That was weird. So let me do this. Let me delete this. Let me delete this. And let's just run it one more time because I want to make sure that everything's clean. Jose is asking about the environment. Did you use Anaconda to install the environment? Yes, I did. This is all Anaconda. So F5. You can see right here that this tells me what environment I'm currently in, and it's PyTorch. We may not get to the web stuff today, friends, but that's okay. Okay. Okay, this is better. I think this was just an artifact of something just being left behind. Because now everything's going in the right spot. Yeah, this looks good. It's running. So right now it's training the model. Yeah, this is good. So there's the model. There's the ML runs. Data, we'll leave alone. Okay, this looks good. Okay, so CLS. So now back to this thing. People told me to use this, so let's try it. Next.js gives you the best developer experience, all the features you need: productivity, hybrid, static, and server rendering, TypeScript support, smart bundling, route prefetching, and more. Cedric, Xtemporal and Agoral O has been my... Oh, I wonder what that is. I need to go look at that. Okay, so start learning. To build a complete web application with React from scratch, there are many important codes of what to do. A framework, enter Next.js has the blah, 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 about this, blah, 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 blah. Do I have to learn React for this? I'm guessing I have to learn React. Under the hood, blah, blah. Maybe we should learn React real quick. Maybe we should learn React real quick. I think I did the tutorial the other night. Okay, so we have some options here. How many of you folks know React? I should probably share like a, I don't know, poll. How many of y'all know React? Number one. Number two, should we use React to build our thing? I mean, is that something y'all want to learn? Write code in a browser, blah, blah, blah. This looks interesting. Inspecting the starter code. Completing the... Oh. I don't know. Should we build this? Should we go through the tutorial or no? I'm curious what everyone thinks. My watch is telling me it's time to stand up. Liar. I don't want to stand up. Learn by doing. I think we should do this. I don't think we can get it done in 10 minutes, though. What do y'all think? Overview, blah, blah. Inspector, blah, 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 blah. It might be 10 minutes if you're not able to get a chance. Step by step. Setup for the tutorial. We'll give you a starting point. Starter code. Option 2. We want to do it locally. Let's just do it. Let's just do it. Right. I mean, how hard could it be? By the way, JavaScript used to be a lot easier when Jake was in charge. Does anyone know Jake? Mr. Weary? Jake Weary? Jake Query? No? Is this not funny? I thought it was hilarious. Only because I stole it from Scott Hanselman. Thank you. That's what I was looking for, okay? I was looking for y'all to be like, that was hilarious. Jake Weary. I wish I made that up, but I didn't. All right, what do we call this thing? My React app. All right, here we go. Man, are we downloading the internet here? What's going on? New comments. Here we go. Jake Weary. Where Jake Weary? All right, let's do this. CD, kapoop, code, boom, open up. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to take this goodness and we're going to kapoop, and then we're going to take this goodness and kapoop, and now we are ready to go. Okay, so I installed it, blah, blah, blah. Delete everything in the source. Oh, that's a lot of stuff. So delete everything in the source. Don't look. We don't want to get confused. Delete everything in the source. Add a file named index.css, new file, index.css, and then a new file named index.js. Man, we're learning stuff. Okay. Add this code to the CSS. Yeah, y'all don't want me to write CSS, right? Control Shift F. No, that's not what I wanted. I wanted this. Oh, jeez, I went to the wrong place. Format document. Where is it? Oh, it's already formatted. Cool. Okay. So we did that. Thank you. Boom. Copy this code. Okay. Copy this code. Right click. Format document. Boom. So we copied everything. We did it. Thank you. We did. We're already past this. Add these 3 lines to the top of your index.js. Okay. Not this one, this one. Okay, that's it. npm start. npm start. Here we go. Things are happening. Life is good. Starting the development server. Sharafuddin, OCR can recognize manuscripts, Arabic support. I don't know. There was a ton of languages. I don't remember which ones he put in there. Okay, so it looks like we got something going. Good. Help, I'm stuck. No, I'm not. What is React? Declarative efficient, blah, 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 blah. React has a few different kinds of components. We'll start React component subclass. So looks like, let's get this away and let's put this down. Shopping list, we don't have that. We'll go to the boom. This does this. Create element. Makes things. Inspect the starter code. We have square, board, and game. Okay. Render square, board. Oh, so they want us to change this. So value equals I. Let's see what happens here. Nothing. In the board render, change it to pass a prop called value to the square I. Oh, I see. Change the square's render method with the value representing to do with this dot props dot value. So square. Okay. Here we go. It's the to do, and this dot props. Oh man, it's almost time to be done. This dot props dot value. That's my walk-off music here. Oh, things are happening. This is cool. Okay. Make it more interactive. I think we should go through this. I like this. Cedric has a question. A couple of Connect DK cameras. I haven't gotten to using them. But has Andrew developed much so far with these SDKs? I don't know. We also have a new There's a new thing also. I forget what it's called. I don't remember. Are you using GPU to improve the learning process? Yes, I am. Let me show you. Here it is. That one. Yeah, I think we should go through this more in depth next time because this is cool. I want to make sure I understand React, and then we can build our website. Do you know a good source to take advantage of 7 mic array? Built in the 3D model. Yeah, it's really whatever you want. By the way, next time with me, May 28th, Jeff Mendenhall, Ashley Yao, Krishna Das, Gary Pretty, Sethu Raman, just a lot of people. I'm pretty excited for that. My walk-off music ended way too soon. How embarrassing. I'll put this on to finish up. Yeah, I'm pretty excited. So make sure you stay tuned for that. Also, a reminder, next week, Aishagul Yonet and Vanessa Diaz exploring Azure Cognitive Services while building the AI Playground web app. Make sure you go for that one. For us, next time, we're not going to be able to get to this until the next time. But I think I'm going to learn a little bit more React. That way you don't have to sit here and watch me learn, even though it might be entertaining for me. Like I might have thoughts about this. I've been a programmer for a long time. So you have plans for what you're going to break at Build this year, Seth? Indeed. Thanks for being with us today, my friends. I'm so happy you're with us. As always, if you need anything, make sure you let me know. Again, this has been another episode of the AI Show. Thanks for being here, and we'll see you next time.
Thank you.